do want to reflect on my view that there is very few aircraft left in general aviation, particularly in the places. I'm not talking about RAOs and, you know, the recreational guys. I'm talking about the serious pilots and businesses that operate in regional and remote Australia.
I'd reflect on your views, Senator. The only point that I would make is that the general aviation, depending on how you describe it, is declining around the world. Most general aviation aircraft in Australia are more than 40 years old. I think I could find you the average age of aircraft on the register if you wish. Young people don't want necessarily to join and maintain those aircraft, and people don't want to fly them. On the other side of it, in the recreational aviation space, that space is booming. They have 10,000 pilots and 3,000 aircraft. There are only 15,700 aircraft on our register, so 3,000 of them, another 3,000 are now in the recreation space. And so lots of flying training is done in that space.
I would put to you that a very, very long way away from the comfortable halls of Canberra, where we do really serious remote and regional work, people can't afford to operate aircraft. Every pilot I speak to complains about the regulations and process of CASA, and I have tried over the last 18 months to raise this gently, but I can't seem to get any understanding of why the culture of CASA is so against people who do real flying in real places, not recreational pilots along the coast.
Well, Senator, I don't believe that CASA is against real pilots doing real flying.
But they say they say so.
The cost,
they say so.
They may say so, Senator. Every regulatory matter that has been put to us in recent times has been dealt with. I've heard those allegations constantly over 4 years, and every time I've actually asked for something to fix, if I've been given it, we've had a look at it and fixed it. Maintenance costs on old aircraft are high. There is nothing I can do with the cost of maintaining 40-year-old aircraft. People register an aircraft once for life, Senator. It costs them $138. I don't see what CASA's costs are that are driving the industry. I believe that security and airport charges are charges that drive the industry, but I'm not sure that my charges do.
I would suggest that you get out and you talk to your CASA people in Cairns and more remote parts of the country, because they'll be able to tell you they're trying to mediate between Canberra and the real pilots, as I'm going to describe them, and now the complete lack of engineering and maintenance services. And again, I can line them up, but if you don't know about it and you don't believe it, then that's a longer conversation.
Senator, last year we had a board meeting in Cairns. We met with anyone from industry who would want to meet with us, and that's with the entire CASA board. I recall a few issues being raised which were dealt with. That was open to anybody in the industry who wanted to come along. I haven't been to the Cairns office since COVID began, which has been a difficulty, but I have been able to get to a couple of the other offices. But I'm not necessarily seeing the things that you are seeing. And as I said, we opened ourselves to industry. I think it was late last year in Cairns for just that purpose, and we had very few complaints or responses.
Very few people would have come because they're terrified. They say to me, "Can you not mention my name?" I don't want to go through the 2 years of investigation, the massive expense and cost that if CASA turns its attention on me. So I would put to you that that's the reason why I didn't see anybody.
Well, thank you, Senator. I mean, I can't fix what I don't know, and I can't fix it if people don't come forward, and they have an industry complaints commissioner to go to if they need to, and that process is used often, and the complaints are resolved, I think, very quickly. Monitored very closely by the CASA board. So I do hear and I accept what you're saying, but it's not what I'm hearing when I travel, and it's not always what I hear from staff in offices. But I do hear lots of allegations, and as I said, every time a real allegation is made with a fact that an inspector has done X or Y, we deal with it.
All right, well, we will continue to disagree on this matter, because I have, literally hundreds of pilots and aircraft across Australia who are either in sheds, giving up their planes. You know, people travel huge distances, and I don't know that we have a focus on supporting them. But that is a comment and not necessarily useful to this hearing.